I actually had some ideas for how I wanted to try and do this video. I was getting ready with doing some PNG reaction images of my little character or avatar that kind of go over this whole video. But unfortunately, that was not the case. And so I wanted to make this very clear. I have done a lot of recordings on DabDude. And I don't know how to feel. I'm going to be very clear that how I feel about the dude situation is pretty insane. So instead of reacting to the video because it took about 2 hours of me sharing my thoughts, I thought I should just gun down my thoughts and talk about them from the videos I've seen from DabDude and Darkray's side and kind of give my thoughts. So first up, let's talk about the positives of DabDude's video. I think DabDude's video does a great way of explaining about the Dill situation and how that went. And I do believe he is not a predator, and nor have I ever believed that. With that being said, now I'm going to start on my gripes. Firstly, it took DabDude a month to release a 10-minute video to 2 videos that result in about 30 minutes. So about an hour of length. Well, let's cut down the memes and stuff from Darkray's video, and immediately it's about half as long. And it's about 45 minutes. So it's a 10-minute video to 45 minutes, which is better than his first response, which was him saying, "Nah, this is not true. I don't remember this. Clearly, therefore, this never happened." What a genius response. Secondly, in his response video, he makes a huge mistake at the 3-minute and 27-second mark, which is very common in his comments section. And to let you all know, it's essentially what that video was, especially since it's uncensored still, as the time of recording this video on February 10th. It's essentially a Sonic character with huge calcium cannons, which is not great. Well, I should say a Sonic OC. Regardless, the image is them having those calcium cannons being squeezed and a very unique substance escaping. But it's okay though, the censorship is the shirt, which... For that next part, he also says that the image he showed was not pornography, which, with everyone saying that it is, this leads me to believe a hypothesis that I have, and I could be very wrong. Please don't attack me for this. But from the way DabDude has shown himself, especially in Darkray's videos, and how DabDude has interacted with his friends as well, it seems that he has shown pornography or something of that similarity, I should say. And it's concerning because that implies that Luigi Channel, Nostalgia Egg, Puddle of Pizza, and many other people in DabDude's circle of friends and old people he knew pretty much were desensitized to DabDude doing this, which is not a good sign. And I don't know if he has a Discord server and has done this before with others, but if it was amongst friends, his friends were still young. Now, granted, I don't know how old everybody was involved in the friend group, especially during the gender bent face swap thingy. But regardless, it is not good. Nor should it be, acknowledged as being good. And this kind of leads me into the next little problem I have. When he discusses his 18 and up Twitter account, he did block it. That was between his response video and Darkray's second video releasing. So that account went from public to private within that time frame, which is not good. in his Twitter account, which I was able to see, the lolly content. I know people like to argue and go, oh, well, it's just aged up. Well, it's fictional characters. Also, they're 1,000-year-old dragon lolly. That's a thing. Also, they're aged up, so bleh. I'm going, that's okay. I don't necessarily side with that argument or any of the reasons to justify it. But however, it's a problem when classic Gwen 10, Hat Kid, other various Avatar girls in their like first appearance clothing, similar to Gwen 10, and Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot are shown. That's where I have a problem. Also, the extent of his lolly retweeting was not, well, around 2020, I guess, is when the screenshot was. Well, the thing is, this is not a recent event. This has been going on for about 5 years. Granted, he did stop on March 2024. However, he had been retweeting lolly stuff since 2019. Late 2019 of September to, I believe, mid to late March 2024. So no, this account was still retweeting lolly around that time, which shows a repeated behavior. And honestly, this is definitely not a good thing. DabDude in this video also shows a high level of corporation, if that makes sense. Usually if a corporation makes a really, really interesting mistake, especially to a political side, they apologize, and it's the most, like, ChatGPT makes it look like a Shakespeare, like emotional right from Shakespeare. It's pretty bad. And why I'm saying this is most of DabDude's responses seem to be very disingenuous. They seem very light recognition, him then victim blaming himself or guilt tripping in that front, and then trying to apologize. And one of those is very clear with the transphobic remarks in this segment, where he doesn't remember any of the transphobic things, yet he's shown this pattern before. I also don't really like the play on words when he says, you know, I like to believe that I have grown and learned from this, from that experience, where this has been multiple takes, especially to Yoshi Star, and honestly, I'm not for it. And then speaking of apologies, it seems that DabDude has a lot of memory issues with some of the more heinous things, as he doesn't remember that the people he asked for dating advice, at least one of them, was 15. He talks about how he was weird in Discord servers and other places as well, and it was just a whoopsie doodles, this has happened only once, I acted foolish, let's move on from it. Where, if that's the case, this has now happened multiple times, meaning that DabDude has had now a repeated history of doing this, making it hard to go, okay, well then we'll just give him another chance. Because at this point, if he's done this multiple times, what's the next time going to do? In the time after that, are we going to seriously keep forgiving him? I don't believe his intent is really there, if I'm being for real. But I guess that's all I have for that segment. Also, the segment of Dill, and this one kind of irked me a little bit how it was phrased or portrayed. He decides to put all of the blame on Dill, who was 12 at the time, lying about her age, and then trying to make excuses about how he couldn't get any information. And honestly, I did Google some answers, and quite honestly, he could have done a ton of simple things to do, but he didn't do any of these. Or if so, he really didn't catch on. And I don't think his friends relatively cared or wanted to care. So there's also that front, if that makes any sense. Also, back on the corporation talk thingy, and also in tandem with the Lolicon stuff, it seems they sugarcoats the severity of that account, which Granted, yeah, it had retweeted porn and lolly porn specifically, but it also goes in contrast to a lot of Dab Dude's beliefs that he had said. This is not beliefs that he did, this is beliefs he has said, which a lot of them have been either excuses for lolicon on his behalf or him condemning it heavily. So I guess it takes one to know one. Now, finally, this is probably going to be my last little segment here before I close off and edit this. But Dab Dude, when talking about the minors that sent him pornography, again, he takes the approach of trying to guilt trip / victimize himself in this scenario, which is not good, especially since you were the adult at the time. In his response, he talks about how he didn't say yes to the child that was offering to make NSFW art. However, he should have said no, and that's definitely clear. And I think with a lot of the other takes, he should have said no. But where he kind of goons and keeps going, especially with the gender bent little face swap stuff as well, I don't know what else to really add. I think, honestly, we shouldn't give Dab Dude another chance on this front. I do think the damage has already been done, especially since Dab Dude did not take this seriously at all. Especially when people were calling his response really terrible. And it literally took Puddle and everyone else abandoning him and jumping ship because they couldn't, stop the claims. I mean, they were even self-reporting on this as well. And so it took them abandoning Dab Dude to have him finally release this video, which is not good. And it feels really bad since Mathdominus, who was trying to defend Dab Dude while also being skeptical of his responses, pretty much got a ton of flack and shit for it. Now, I feel bad for Mathdominus being attacked, but this is also a huge problem I have, which is Dab Dude's fans are feral. They do not like being told that their content creator, their favorite one, Dab Dude, is nothing short of a degenerate scumbag who is very manipulative and seems to be very toxic. They don't like hearing that for some reason. So, I'll be honest when I say I don't think Dab Dude should have another chance on the platform because of these issues that kept reoccurring. Now, this is going to be the last video I will ever do on Dab Dude. I've been busy all of Monday trying to do chores and sweeping and mopping and basically cleaning up around my house. But I'm going to just leave it as such and pretty much just say I don't think this will be any good for Dab Dude. And I think if there's any more drama that comes his way, I don't think Dab Dude will have any sort of skills to get himself out of this one, especially since everyone was struggling to do it. And another problem I have is that between, I would say, Saturday, I believe it was Saturday, early in the morning, he deleted over 100 comments that were calling him out actively. This is a huge amount of comments that were just put on a DNI list / removed entirely. And I think Dab Dude honestly shouldn't have done this. If he had a problem, he should have talked it out. Should have done anything. But the fact that he's now trying to hide evidence of these claims and things that have been said against his arguments, he can say they're wrong, but taking them down speaks a lot more volume to whatever he'll reply with. Because if he takes them back up, I mean, yeah, they're calling him out, but at the same time, he shouldn't have done this, because I frankly wasn't going to give a shit about this video anyways. But with the severity of it all, and then Dab Dude doing this kind of broke the camel's back for me. That was the final straw. And I'm not okay with this, and I'm not going to let this kind of go by. I just simply won't. So, Dab Dude, if you are watching this, I doubt it. But if you are, I hope you know that I do not apologize for what I've said. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I'm not going to bother putting any more time, energy, or resources just calling you out on your shitty behavior. I'm quite frankly sick of it and done, and I hope to never speak with you again. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will try my best to upload drawings and art and other things, but at this point in time, I'm pretty much done with Dabby and will never be continuing on with that content. Anyways, y'all have a great day and take care. Bye-bye.